All right, it's a beautiful day. We should be at the coast instead of here at home, but we got chores to do, as I'm sure many of you do. Okay, I got this thing taped up inside and out using that delicate painter's tape so it doesn't damage anything. And we'll see what happens here. I've also been recording my cold starts for a reason. The bus has been acting a little funny on cold starts, and I'm trying to catch a good example of that. Sounds a little bit different. Can you latch that door? Do it. Here we are. What's he towing? Look, two Jeeps. Awesome, we got a green light. Okay, yellow light. All right, it's time for the moment of truth here. Still whistling. No change. Do you think it's as loud as it was before?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. All right. Why don't you shut the recording off and get out your stage?
It's just like sucking it all in, man.
In that corner,
Yes.
out the window.
Well, it's going. It must be because I ain't smelling the sage.
Okay, try the middle where we're hearing the noise. See if you can tell where it's going, so we can see what the deal is with that. I am watching the road, not the camera.
I know.
I'm just holding it. So while we were out, we decided to stop at our local Costco and get a few items that we haven't been able to get in the last couple weeks. Beef and dog food primarily. Yeah, it's not too crazy in there, but they've got signs up all over about social distancing, and people aren't really following them. Just coming up close to you and stuff, and they shouldn't be. All right, so we stopped and you know, stuff some paper in this truck here, rolled up paper towel. I want to see if that makes any difference at all. So we're back on the freeway and it's quieter now with that thing taped up over there. In that center section, there's paper towel and tape. That has helped quite a bit. So I'm assuming there's a vent or a failed seal in that area. I'm going to speed up here and see if it gets louder. So we're on 65 now. It did get a little louder. Check this out. Remove the tape right there and it gets bad. Go ahead and put it back up. Well, at least we know where it's coming from, right? But it's also the bottom corner too, right?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and do a little bit down there. See what that does. So the bottom corner affects it as well, but I want to know specifically where. Silence is golden. Now I just got to figure out what the hell's causing it.
Okay, Mitz. Time to come in.
Got to get some real chores done today too. this should be entertaining. Hold on, not ready. Okay, go ahead and pull. Good, got it. It's good. You think maybe we knew what we were doing or something. Minute 20, not bad. It's cooking!
Perfect.
Let's just hose it down and call it good.
Okay.
Did you shut it off?
No.
Okie dokie, so I finished with my household chores and I'm able to work on the bus some more. And what I figured out is that these pieces can just come off separately. And so I removed the culprit piece. And there's a big fat rubber filler in here. This is nice and squishy. But The caveat is right up in there in the corner, I can see daylight through there when the door is open. I guess I need to open the door. See if I can get it. To where you can see daylight through there. See it now? So what I think's happening is the wind is just whistling in that gap there, down behind that strip, and that's where my noise is coming from. So I am going to fill that up. I'm probably just going to use some silicone and put it back together. Go for a drive. Okay, I've filled up that entire seam with black silicone caulk. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that panel down over it, which will hide it, and I'll bet you the whistle is gone. All right, we got it buttoned up and going for a test drive. All right, moment of truth. Uh-oh, I hear a little something over there. Let that silicone dry. Just squished it in there and decided to go.
Well, maybe you should have let it dry, you know?
Let's see if it comes back. We're going to 68 now.
Nothing like it was before.
There's 55. Used to whistle pretty good at 55. I wonder if you should just listen a little bit there and see if we can see what's up with that. If there's anything else that needs to get buttoned up over there. And then shut it off for you. All right, we just got back. It's 90% better, but I'm going to go ahead and take them off top and bottom. My wife used a little bit of sage, and like she has a bundle of sage, and she burned it and held it, you know, at the around the window frame, and it's still sucking out on the top and bottom corners of the window frame. So I didn't really let the caulking set up and dry before we went for the drive, so it's possible that it did, you know, get drawn out, and you know, there's still some air getting through up there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it off, see what happened, see if it's still in place or not. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the top and bottom rail. But it is 90% better, definitely on the right track now. Maybe I can undo a little bit of the stuff I did on the door, because I can hardly shut the thing now. And we'll see, but right now I'm a happy camper. The top piece off to see what was going on underneath here, and there's some old weather stripping on the back side of this aluminum channel here. This pretty well shot, so I'm going to replace that. But it looks like this rubber, there's a big fat rubber thing that is up in here that is still pliable, but I could see daylight through this corner still up here in the top corner of it. I moved it, you know, I kind of squished it around since then, so it's not there anymore, but this is not really sealing up all that great. So, you know, it looks like maybe there was some felt on this or something, or something else, because you can see this crud that's, you know, loose and deteriorated in here. So I'm gonna, maybe it's some kind of a sealant that, see how it just kind of peels off? So I'm gonna clean this up here and apply a bead of silicone, you know, across here, across the top, and across this bottom section here to kind of, you know, fill this gap better. And I'm going to put a new piece of weather stripping on the back of this aluminum channel. All right, so I changed my mind on this silicone caulk idea. I'm using this stuff instead because it's not as sticky as caulk, and it's not going to prevent removal later. And so, you know, it kind of reminds me of butyl tape, which I use on my roof to seal up vents and stuff. So I took some of that and forced it in here. It's underneath some stuff in there. Ain't gonna be any whistling happening in that area. I worked it in, you know, top and bottom on that, and laid a thick bead of it down in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall that aluminum. There's the bottom. Same treatment. Notably, these two bolts here and two more that are on the other side are used to hold the door on. So if you ever want to remove this door, you got to get access to these. And there's two more buried on the other side of that, so yeah. Just a side note about GM door anatomy. The seal on the back side of the door seems to be in pretty good shape. And you can see here, this stuff is present and in good shape that was deteriorated elsewhere on the door, on the other sections. It's some kind of a soft rubber material. It's, you know, it looks like it was applied with a caulking gun, but it's not silicone because it's, you know, it's not extra sticky or whatever. It comes off easily. You know, silicone caulk will really stick on there. So I don't think I need to do anything with this side. I'm just going to put it back on after inspecting it here. Well, I think that's it for this project. I think we got her. Thanks for everybody who commented on the channel and provided helpful tips and suggestions. Really appreciate it. Thanks for Mr. Lucky stopping by today and giving me some pointers that made tackling this job a lot easier than I thought on the surface. And also a special thanks to Scott Crosby, the bus grease monkey, for mentioning to me today on his channel, and anybody who's chosen to come over and subscribe, I really appreciate that. It helps out a lot. Thanks for watching. Oh, and Mr. Lucky mentioned today that he's going to be starting up his custom toy hauler build here on Monday. So I look forward to seeing how that project progresses and keeping you guys up to date on it. And thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing.